Hello everyone, let's go for another series taken from the MLG Dallas 2011. Another best out of 3. I was looking around on the other casting channels just to make sure that I wasn't repeating other people's work, but apparently they just moved on, and there's still several series to follow up. I think I should provide some more content from MLG Dallas to all of you guys, and I'm kinda curious to still watch at least like 2 or 3 series, so I'm gonna share it. That's it. Hopefully it's gonna be some nice matchups here. This one here in Scrap Station, we're gonna have the blue Protoss here spawning on this side on about 3 o'clock position. It's aTnSocke. As you guys know, he's the German Protoss player. Socke is an old Brood War veteran. Now he's representing Team Alternate Attax and is one of the most solid Protoss playing in Europe. This side of the pond, this side of the Atlantic, he's probably one of the main references currently. And well, his team found him fit enough to send him to Dallas, so I guess they will find him worthy of attempting to clash against the top North American and all the other players that were there, obviously. He's going to be facing against, spawning here on the 12 o'clock position, the red Zerg, LiquidHaypro. As you guys know, Haypro, Swedish player, been living in Korea for a while, representing Team Liquid, and he's been doing fairly well. He's struggling with the GSL. Still, in my opinion, he didn't show us all of his capabilities. I remember him back in the days of Brood War winning several dream hacks, and well, he was a huge beast. I think he still is. It just needs more time to adapt. Maybe he's just slowly evolving at his pace. For now, we're just hanging here, as you can see, taking a look at the builds and what's going on. We have the probe just keeping tabs there, making sure that Haypro is not going to go for any kind of 14-15 hatch, and he didn't. So Socke just heading back while he's establishing his forge here on this area where you can just wall off with this nice diagonal, and I'm assuming that Socke is gonna go for the forge too fast expand. Yeah, there it is, incoming that probe, and meanwhile he's just keeping tabs on what's happening here, what's going on Haypro's side, and Haypro just going for a fairly delayed hatchery, but still worth it. There it is, 15 hatch on this situation, getting landed on that natural expo, and both players will be working out of 2 bases soon enough. This might spell trouble for the Zerg player. As you know, this map is usually one of the most beneficials for you to try and go for the 14 hatch. Haypro didn't went that way. He waited a bit longer. It was about 15 hatch, if I'm not mistaken. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. But now the problem is he's basically on 2 bases versus 2 bases from Socke. And usually the recommended move is to just be ahead on the bases, keep expanding as a Zerg player. You need to grab as much of the map as possible, so you can measure up and be on the top of your game and be able to resist your opponent's forces. I mean, a 2-base Protoss is really powerful, and we're talking here about Socke, so I guess you're gonna see which way this is heading. But if Haypro doesn't consider expanding some more, he might find himself in trouble later on, maybe on the mid-late game. For now, there it is, finishing off that wall off close to the ramp, with the gateway and cybercore, also the forge staying right ahead. And now with the Haypro sending his first Zergling to take a look at his opponent's base. Keep in mind it has been keeping tabs on everything going on here. He has 2 overlords taking a peek at everything happening. This one has been staying on top of the main base as well. And now Socke sending another probe. I think he's going to be able to arrive at least on the natural exo, but it's already fairly hurt. The Zerglings have been taking care of it. And now with Haypro getting that Zergling speed finished, soon enough he will be able to just destroy any probe's attempt to scout inside his base. Shoving away those overlords, I guess that Socke finally is gonna have some units out that will be able to start shooting down his opponent. And interesting here, Socke going for that Stargate. It is a good approach on this map. As you guys know, the main bases are really close by air, and it's always an option for you to go for some air play, some harass, and seems like that Socke is heading that way with this Stargate. I'm assuming we're gonna see some Void Ray harass, might be Phoenixes, they're useful for scouting purposes, and if you get a nice amount you can even keep microing and lifting queens, killing queens and killing workers. And obviously it requires a bit of micro, but Socke is more than able to handle all of that. He's one of the most experienced Protoss players playing here in Europe, so I'm assuming he might be planning ahead and going for Void Rays. There it is. It won't be Phoenixes, at least not for now. Econ-wise, as you can see, you have Haypro leading the charge. He has a bit more workers, not that many, 4 more harvesters there, but it is showing on the mineral lines. as you can see, is around 1100-1200, while Socke is on 800. And hopefully he's going to be able to mass up a big enough army to withstand the aggression that Socke might be planning for him. At least you're going to have a lot of air harassing coming soon enough. Haypro going for the next tech to the lair tech, getting the second layer of Zerg tech prepared so he can just advance. Probably I would say Mutalisks would be an option, but Hydralisks are really effective against gateway units. Also he has the Evo Chamber here, so I guess he might just be preparing himself to get some upgrades to back up his units. For now, we have Haypro trying to spread his Zerg tentacles all over the map, while the first Void Ray arrives on the creep area. 2 Queens instantly waiting for it, so this Void Ray all by itself won't be able to do much. We see already some Phoenixes coming out, so a first Void Ray to harass, and now Phoenixes to back up this Void Ray and just fly over those bases, trying to scout as much as possible, and if the chance is provided, probably lift some Queens and get some kills going on. Void Ray is still insisting here, flying, trying to find a way of entering the main base or the natural exo from Haypro and start applying the pressure on him, while we have Haypro going for that Spire and at the same time grabbing the hatchery on the rich mineral field. It is a good option, no questions asked, especially because, as you guys know, grabbing the third base here, that one that is on this really wide open space, is hard to defend, and maybe Haypro knows that it is a risk going for that rich mineral field, but if he's lucky enough for Socke to not notice him for long enough, he's gonna have a huge profit there. For now, income wise, whoa, we have Haypro just blasting away on the worker count. Look at that, 50 against 37. It translates into more income, but I think obviously that he is preparing a lot of workers to transfer to that rich mineral field as fast as possible, so he can just benefit from all the income and trample over Socke. For now, 3 more warp gates there, on the back another warp gate and another there, so 5 gateway play here, along with this 6th one on the front making the wall, and that's basically it here on Socke's side. These Phoenixes are just keeping tabs on everything moving around, and with this small Phoenix wing he'll be able to just scout all the bases from Haypro and keep him in check, not allowing him to expand much longer. And incoming now is focus on those Queens, trying to kill them, focusing fire on one of the Queens. More Phoenixes coming and nice transfusions there, saving those Queens and making sure that Haypro would be able to survive this air assault. Nice play there. Haypro has a lot of Queens now, 5 Queens for 2 bases, so a nice air defense there. Also keep in mind that he has Spore Crawlers on the bases, so everything is contained. He's trying to macro and get a huge army out. Let's take a look at the army count for now. 88 against 98, only a 10 difference, so not that much. And incoming once again this Phoenix wing, trying to harass as much as possible, lifting some Queens once more. And incoming now Void Rays, and also the sentry is trying to shoot down some of those Queens, and the Phoenixes are just trying to micro as much as possible to kill all of those air defenses. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to take this HP bars from here. It's a huge mess. Nice transfusions going on. The first batch of Mutalisks came out to help defend against this big air aggression by Socke, but Socke just shooting everything that moves and killing a lot of those overlords that were just stationed there right on the front of the main base from Haypro. And now we have trouble incoming on Haypro's side. The first batch of units entering his main base. Haypro desperately trying to put out some Zerglings to finish off the aggression here, and the second ones just got force fielded there, blocked, and some Zerglings were already poking at them. But Haypro just had to GG out of this match. He had a lot of units inside his main base, and he basically witnessed his demise. He didn't have what it takes to defend against this very strong aggression by Socke. The airplay worked just fine. As you can see, he had a lot of zealots running around his mineral line, destroying, slicing and stabbing all of those drones, as you can see on the picture-in-picture screen. And basically Haypro was just too late. What he's preparing and on this situation getting some Mutalisks out and the upgrade was much too late. He didn't have enough. Let's take a look here, only 3 Mutalisks and getting now Corruptors to try to defend against this aggression, but the numbers weren't the ones required to fend off that Phoenix wing that kept harassing all over. And then this small ground army, small but effective and sturdy and fairly cheap Protoss unit-wise. It was fairly cheap, just advancing with a lot of zealots leading the charge, just finished off Haypro, with the Socke taking this game 1, having the lead 1-0 now, and setting everything for game 2 with Haypro needing to win that match, or else this is gonna be GG for him and losing the series. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, okay? See you all later, have fun.